All right, welcome friends. We are finishing up. We are looking at what is printmaking. And as we're looking at this, we can see a drawing of a flower. Flowers go all different ways. They don't have to be made perfectly. And so we are just going to jump right to let me read this to you. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you today. We are going to take a picture of a sketch that we made. How did we figure it out? We Googled Georgia O'Keeffe flower and we dropped it in the chat. And then we took out our styrofoam plate from the blue bag. If you don't have a styrofoam plate, you could ask mom, dad, auntie to maybe they have one because they bought some hamburger on the plate. You wash it really good with soap and water, and then you cut the edges off, and so you have just a foam rectangle, right? So you are about to trace the styrofoam and on just a scrap piece of paper or in your sketchbook, and then you are going to move it out of the way and sketch your little flower, piece of a flower. Look at the picture that you sent me. Maybe you like one better that another student sent. Sketch part of it, sketch all of it in your little piece of paper. You are then going to take a picture of it and turn it into lesson 49A right here. Okay? We played 2 videos that might help you. Go ahead and watch that, especially if you love art history. And now today I am going to also show you how I draw it onto the styrofoam. Why aren't we just drawing on the styrofoam without a practice sketch, Miss Kay? Because if you don't practice, and this is why I gave you 2 of them. So many students say, oh, I made the line in the wrong place. This has got to be something where we're going to draw it and then we're going to trace it on, and then I'm going to allow you the chance to watch the printing video. All right, so let's go ahead and I am going to turn this on so you can see me. And here we go. All right. I think I'm going to use the other camera to help you see it better. All right. Maybe. There it is. Okay. So here are 2 example sketches that I have done. I would just because we love our sketchbook, get out your sketchbook that I have given you. All right. And then you're going to trace the size onto your paper. All right. If you want to, you can write Georgia O'Keeffe printmaking. All right, and she is just our inspiration. At the end of the day, you don't have to use exactly what she has framed. You can make it different. So again, you're going to go to Google and you're going to type Georgia. Oh, well, Miss Kay, can I find my own flower? You can, but she has already zoomed in, and this just makes life so much easier. All right? So you pick one that you like, all right? And it might be to deal with your emotions. Maybe one responds to you if you're feeling particularly sad or happy, just the shapes. Again, vertical lines mean you're strong, horizontal lines mean you're calm. diagonal lines mean you're like on a roller coaster, kind of. So, and I like this one. All right. Oh, that's not the one I picked, is it? Maybe I'll see it. I just drew this one. All right. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to look at that one and I am going to draw it. So I want you to look at yours and draw yours on this little piece of paper. Now, if you really need, you can find how to draw a flower like Georgia O'Keeffe and just draw it really small, but I'm not saying you need to do that. All right. I am drawing, look at the screen, I'm going starting from the top, just looks like a little mountain, and then I go up, make a frowny curved line, come back down, another little frowny curved line. All right, it looks like a big cloud actually on my paper. And that's the cool thing about Georgia O'Keeffe is her things look like more than one thing. And that's why she's an abstract expressionist. So I'm going to draw this triangle right here. Okay, I'm going to come over here and make a curved triangle going that way. I'm going to make a triangle this way. I'm going to make a triangle. These look like little triangles to me. Okay, and now look at it, looks like a fork or something. So I'm going to make this underneath a skinny number 11 here. And then over here, Miss Kay, can I just do this with you? Yeah, if you want to follow it along, that's fine. All right. So the next step is you're going to look at my sketch. There it is. All right. And I was talking about background and foreground, and I was talking about positive space and negative space. If it helps you to understand the flower is the positive space, the background is the negative space, maybe just go over your background space if there's nothing going on. And you can go like this. I told some students they can go like this, all right? But I think it would be easier for the purposes of this sketch. Just go ahead. So you can tell, all right, this is my background, and I'm making it all scribbly. This is my foreground, and on the print, all right, so here's my printing paper, right? Now the next step is I am going to get this on here, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to transfer it. So I need to again put my styrofoam. It makes it really easy if you put it on the corner of your sketch pad like I did. And I'm just taping it on there, just the very edge, because we don't, well, you'll see it in a second. Okay, so I've taped it on. Now I'm closing it up. Now if all you've got is a pencil, great, but don't use a marker. You really need to push very hard, okay? And so here I go. I'm just going to, I don't have to make this line, but I do have to go over this. And Ms. K wants you to take a picture of it right now and turn this into lesson 49. Why? I already put a hole in it. This is not going to be pretty, friends. This transfer process makes it so this paper is going to get destroyed. Okay, it might survive in little pieces. I think it's sort of cool that you leave it in your sketchbook so you remember this. So you're like, how do we transfer? How do we get the drawing somewhere else? You know, when we need to, you know, have a second drawing. If you only get one good chance on your styrofoam. All right, because I did give you two because I just worried that you guys might mess up even though. All right, so Miss K is going over. All right, and notice, look at this, friends. See? And this is a typical thing that happens. All the students are like, "Whoa!" But it's okay. It's supposed to do that. All right, so don't panic. It's just pushing a hole as you're diving in to the styrofoam. All right, my styrofoam being underneath it. Okay, so I've just outlined all that. I might want to make it, because it is a hole, it looks like a hole. So I am going to push it a little more like that. All right. And then I'm going to just color. I'm coloring with my ballpoint pen. Why? It's easier to do than a pencil, I think. Maybe you think different. All right. So you are getting your printing plate ready to print. All right. And some of it needs to be pushed down, and that's what I just did here. And some of it needs to be left raised, and that's the focal point, the positive space, the flower. All right, so I am adding, and what's going to happen is when we put printmaking ink, or we put paint on top of this styrofoam to make a print, the good news is you can make multiple prints. You can put it on a red paper, you can put it on a green paper, and you can make little cards. All right. The cool thing is you can also change up your ink. Now, Miss Kay didn't have enough for everybody, so I gave you the paint I had. Some of you got lucky and got a little bottle of paint that was bigger than everybody else's. Somebody got the little paint like I got. And so we're just going to, whatever paint you have, you're going to use it, okay, that I put in your bag. All right, so I think I've got most of my, do you see how the flower sort of rises with the whites and the background is now pushed down? And so I peel it up and I see that it is, you can sort of see it better. Look at that. Okay, so I feel it. I feel the texture of my drawing. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to go over it again. And I might go over this all over again because we're trying to push it down. All right. And maybe this blue will turn out in your art. So maybe this is not something you'll do if you don't like the color of your pen. It's not going to bother me though. Just whatever you can do. All right. So pushing down, negative space. Say to yourself, the blue is my negative space. The blue is my negative space. And you might have a black pen. That's fine too. All right. I'm going to turn this upside down to make it easier on me rather than trying to reach over and possibly smear. Okay. So I'm just going over the same thing I already went over. The first time I did it, I just wanted to know where everything was. The second time I'm doing it, now I'm really trying to push down my negative space, my background. Okay, and this is probably the best project to do to understand positive and negative space. So I hope you're able to do this and enjoy doing it. All right, so there is that. Now I'm going to go around, and I'm starting to get the ink on my hand. So if you don't want the ink on your hand, maybe we should have done this part first. Doesn't bother me, but if you don't like to get messy. I'm going to go ahead and push these little triangles in too. I think they look cool. All right. And as you can see, they're taking on a life of its own different from Georgia O'Keeffe. Okay, I haven't picked the whole Georgia O'Keeffe part of the artwork, just a piece of it. So don't feel that you are cheating or anything like that. You're not. And maybe I'll make those lines a little longer. And then I'll go back And also sometimes it doesn't like it has a mind of its own, like the pen wants to go somewhere different that I'm not asking it to go. So you really, that's why we also practiced it too and put it in there first. Got it on there with the paper first. All right, so now I have my drawing. Okay, and I think that's good. Maybe I'll make this line thicker. If you want your lines thicker, you can make them thicker. Usually with printmaking, there is a step process where you do one and then make a print and then do another one like with a thicker line and then make another print on the same one. But ooh, that is so, if you want to understand it, just Google how to make a print college and you will see and type in linoleum print. All right, so that I'm pretty impressed with that. Okay, the next step is you have to get out a piece of paper, all right, and a piece of construction paper out of your blue bag. So I'm going to my blue bag, and you also have to look at the paint I gave you in your blue bag, all right? So if I gave you blue, okay, what's a good color with blue that'll stand out? Well, the complementary color is orange. I could have an orange background. No, I don't like that. Okay, maybe a yellow. All right. Maybe white. Maybe pink. Ooh, yeah, Miss K. Yes, no. All right. So you have to figure it out. Okay. Maybe even a brown. The brown and that aqua look good together. Okay. So I have that. I have my paint. And I get out my paintbrush because this plate is ready to be printed. Now, you know how Miss K always says put your name on it? I want you to, I'm going to show you, it's going to print backwards. So this is why we are not putting our name on it. And who knows, it might not even show up. This paint is not being very helpful with me. It's being a little on the sticky side. So I have my brush, I have my paint, I have my paper that I'm going to print it on, and I can do multiple as long as you can use. If I gave you the big bottle, you can just keep on painting it and keep on printing it. So let's see what a print looks like. So Miss K is going to start out and just go over the whole thing. Usually you buy printmaking ink, but Miss K did not have enough money to do printmaking ink for everyone. You can go buy printmaking ink. Now, this is a thin coat on here. I'm going to sort of go with the direction of everything too. Just sort of paint it like you would your flower. Okay? All right, I'm going to add a goop a little more, maybe. All right, and usually they do say you need a brayer and all these things, which is a roller to roll on the paint so it's nice and even. I'm just trying to get it so it looks sort of like what it is. So once it's on there, I'm going to wash my brush out. So here I go. I want to make sure I do that because I get forgetful. And so I'm pouring some water in a cup. And I don't like to leave it there, but I don't want to leave you guys. Put your lid, you're supposed to take care of your supplies. Put your lid on your paint. And then I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to choose this one. All right, so now I have a problem. I need to lift this up. So I'm pulling it off of my sketchbook. Okay. And I'm pulling this off. Like, whoop! And I just dropped it face down, friends. But thankfully it had an arch. It's okay. All right, and I want to hurry and get this before it dries up. So I'm going to go over that little spot. Make sure you go over the little spot that you just peeled up if you just did what I did. And here I go. I'm going to put it in the middle of my piece of construction paper or just piece of white paper, and I'm going to push down. Make sure that it is not bumpy underneath. I've got a notepad underneath, but there's nothing under that. Okay, now there's trouble there. Technically in college we'd have to start over again and reprint it because there's that, but it's okay, friends. All right, so I am just, don't use your nail, just use your fingertip, and it's hot, and then you're going to flip it over. And what I'm doing is called burnishing, and you can sort of see I know exactly where everything is, and it's sort of sticking with the paint or the printmaking ink. Okay, sometimes you will see someone do this with a spoon. All right, but we can just, in this small space, just do it. Make sure your finger's hot. You're just going over everything, pushing down, and then the last step. Oh, look at that, friends. Are you ready for the great reveal? Drum roll. Okay, here we go. You peel the plate off. This is going to be, you can keep it. It looks cool, but really you don't need it. And so here is the print. And again, you could reprint it and put it on yellow, reprint it and put it. You could do it as many times as you want if you really like it. And then all you need to do is sign underneath. All right. And this is going to be lesson 50 or 49B. I think I'm just going to make it 50. Okay. And we'll end the year on lesson 50. Yay! All right. Again, this is printmaking. I hope you had fun and get your sketches turned in so you are able to make a print next time we're together. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.